Hi all, this is Paras. Namaste to all of you. So on the occasion of World International Women's Day, I love to share with you 8 powerful women in the field of coaching who have been doing their work inspiring people locally and globally. Yes, 8 powerful faces. So in this video, I'm going to talk to them, want to hear their stories, want to hear their success, want to hear their dreams, and also the strengths, what took them from just not inspiring self, but transforming communities at their own capacity. So are you interested to know and learn more about them? Yes, let's go for it.
A career that began as a corporate trainer, Ekta augmented a natural ability to build connections with people by making a smooth transition into coaching. A natural leader with a flair to influence and empower people, Ekta is an award-winning spiritual coach. She is certified as Master Certified Coach from ICF, who uses a combination of skills to add her unique touch to coaching methods. An active advocate of women empowerment, Ekta has worked selflessly towards helping women find their path. She has also coached over 150 LGBT individuals and given hope for suicidal cases. She frequently dons the hat of a coach, mentor, and trainer, apart from running Tavamitram, not-for-profits, to support the less fortunate. Ekta further adds the power of spirituality, Veda, somatic coaching, and Reiki healing, making her coaching a holistic experience for all. She has fought many mental battles on smoking addiction and body shaming. So let's meet Ekta today and know more about her success stories on the occasion of International Women's Day.
Hi Ekta, namaste to you, and on the occasion of World International Women's Day, thank you so much for being here. You're my sister, and that's one of the best things that has ever happened in my life. So apart from that, you're a wonderful coach, you are a mentor, you are a trainer, you are a Vedic coach, and you're a spiritual coach, and you do astrology, and you help a lot of group of men, women, locally and globally. So how has been your journey? Can you share a little bit about it?
Sure. Namaste, Paras. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for creating this platform where women in coaching can share their inspirational stories. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Well, to begin with, where do I start? Well, my story is quite long, but I would be telling you in cut short in like few seconds or few minutes rather. It has been quite an insightful journey, I would say. I am a person who is an avid learner. I would say nature is a school for me. The environment teaches lessons all the time. And I would say it has never been, a structured way of teaching. It has never been a syllabus that was brought. It was always, the nature bombarded all its incidents one after the other in my life, and it has helped me to make me what I am today. So to begin with, I would say I remember right from my childhood, I was always, targeted for my body weight. I was targeted for body shaming. I was told that, I need to reduce weight. I am too fat. I look older than my age, and if I lose weight, I would look beautiful. So, all of this, the constant messages that I was getting from the people around, be it my school friends, be it my relatives, be it my colleagues when I worked. So that did create a lot of self-doubts. It did create low self-esteem, and there was a constant feeling, I'm not good enough, and I needed always an external validation to feel good and to look good. And I wasn't confident at all about myself. I was never happy with myself. Back then, I would say almost a decade ago, I was weighing 95 kilos because of all of this emotional downfall that I was undergoing. And then one fine day, I remember there was an inner calling. There was a feeling in my gut that I need to stand for myself. And I did. I took a stand for myself. I rearranged my life. I became more disciplined. I ate healthy. I went to the gym regularly. I did all form of exercise, be it body weight training, be it yoga, be it cardio, all form of exercises and good diet, and it helped me reduce a whooping 33 kilos back then. And I do remember all of my colleagues, my family members, my relatives, whosoever witnessed my journey, when they've seen me transform, they did come back to me, applauding me, asking me my secret, telling me how my journey has inspired them. And it was definitely a motivating factor for me within too. And that was one part of my story, I would say. A few years ago, I would say, again, I did battle depression for a lot of things. I was not happy with the way my career was going. I was not feeling satisfied with the work that I was doing. I was addicted to smoking, and I had a few relationship issues as well. So that chaos put me into depression, and that's where coaching came into my life. I was introduced to coaching and how it helped me transform my thought process. I then also got into spiritual aspects of my life. I do remember about it. It was a turning point in my life. And I've come a long way ahead. Today, I support a lot of men and women out there who are fighting depression, who are wanting to win over their addiction issues, who are wanting to, who are wanting to find out what is their purpose in life, what is their goal. So I'm supporting a lot of other groups like LGBT through various platforms like Mental Strength Professional, where I do individual coaching. I do spiritual coaching there. And there's another platform called Tavamitram, which is a non-profit group coaching work. At the same time, people who want spiritual coaching and astrology, they can reach me through EcoHome. So this is so far my journey.
Wow, Ekta, when you're sharing this, there are goosebumps coming to me, because you talked about 33 kgs that you reduced. That's like an awe for me, and that's an inspiration for not only me who has witnessed you very closely, but so many people who are watching you and listening to you. I'm sure it's going to be so different. But my question to you here is, when you came across body shaming, when you experienced that, and there was an inner voice telling you that you want to do something different, so was it about the external validation that was impacting you, or how did you really think about you within you, that whatever you did, is it because of the validation, or you did it just because you wanted to do? I'm just curious to check with you on that.
See, it was earlier. I was seeking, when I was 95 kgs, I was always seeking that external validation to feel good and look good. But when I had that inner gut feeling, I really stood back and I asked myself, three questions. Do I really love myself? I did ask myself, do I really need validation from others to feel good, to look good? And do I really enjoy being myself? When I started asking this within, that's where I took a stand. I don't need external validation. It's all about me, the inner love, the inner acceptance. So that's where the idea of weight loss and all of it began.
And I've been interviewing today, I've been interviewing a lot of women around the world, and all of them came up with this common thing of connecting to their gut feeling. And what you're now adding up more is to also self-love and self-care. Okay, so it's such a long journey about loving yourself and getting to know that you can love yourself, and also fighting the battle in your mind about the addiction, because So how did you overcome your addiction? What was the magic that happened?
Sure. First of all, it was a stigma talking about addiction in general public, but I would say I decided to fight the stigma. I did have, addiction issues, and trust me, Paras, overcoming my, smoking addiction wasn't an easy one. Back then, when I remember going to a doctor who was a friend, and when I told him, what, I want to quit smoking. How can you help me? What can I do? And the answer that I got was, quitting smoking isn't very easy. It's very difficult. And I would say you may have to go to a rehab center. And that encouraging answer of his was quite surprising and shocking for me. I remember when I came back home, I was so scared. I was fearful. I was like, that's it. What do I do now? And I remember back then, I did have a very strong family system. Even today, I have a very strong family system. My parents, both my mom and dad at that point of time, did remind me that I have a very strong willpower and so much of commitment that I have within me, because of which I did a huge weight loss. And I'm sure I would be able to overcome even this as well. And that gave me some kind of support, made me feel good. And at the same time, I started my coaching journey with you. You being so non-judgmental, you helped me discover my association of, cigarette. And during our coaching conversation, I did witness the internal dialogues, the role that they play. Also the past baggage, the negative thoughts, and this constant self-criticism that played a role. And I did realize I was too tough on myself. So it was certainly a journey of self-discovery for me, I would say. That was a time where I realized the power and the potency of coaching. Coaching helped me transform within. It helped me empower my thoughts. It made me feel so accountable for my own actions and gave me a lot of clarity about my own life, I would say. I would say during that point of time, I was also being able to look within, deep dive within, and I found out I was able to align myself to what is the purpose of my life. Why am I here? So it was definitely an enriching journey, a journey that helped me transform not only outside but also within. I would say it has been Paras 4 successful years that I have said goodbye to smoking, and I never feel like falling back again. A tough journey, but I overcame it, and it is sheer willpower, commitment, and discipline that brought me here.
Ekta, I'm just learning again and again when you're sharing a lot of things to me. So discipline is something, and willpower is something which really helps. And when you're sharing this to me, I'm just getting a feeling that tough time never lasts, but tough people do it. And I'd like to congratulate for bringing this huge message to people that anybody with commitment, willpower and discipline and loving yourself and finding that purpose really can help to do wonders in life. So very quick question to you is, what is one thing that is non-negotiable for you, Ekta?
Sure. Paras, one thing that I would say which is non-negotiable for me is what I am. I can't negotiate my values. I can't negotiate my beliefs about myself. I can't negotiate about my identity as a woman, and at a deeper level of my existence as a person. It has really taken me very, very long. It has really taken me a lot of work to reach here where I am today. And I have a profound amount of self-respect and self-gratitude and self-acceptance here. So I love being myself and I can't negotiate it.
Wow. When I'm listening to this, that I am what I am, and I think a lot of not only women, a lot of men also go through this identity of what am I, and there is so much of this cultural, social pressure that we all have, and I'm just generalizing it when I say I all have is, and it's a big message of just being you and being okay about yourself. So Ekta, what advice would you give to your younger self today?
Well, it's a beautiful question. I do remember this question when during my self-discovery journey, I did ask this question to myself. So one advice to my younger self would be, take that leap of faith. It's never too late to take a risk in life. And I would give the younger self of mine the permission to fail. It's okay to fail. Don't be scared. Don't be fearful about failure. You can bounce back. And failing is not important. Getting up is very, very important. That's what I would like to tell my younger self. I would also further like to add is, seek for that inner acceptance and not validation from outside world.
Wow.
That's what I would like to tell my younger self.
I really like that what you spoke very profound here was giving yourself the permission to fail, because we all human beings are we come for experience in life, and we will have experiences which will either make us succeed or not succeed, and maybe those failures were it. I have the permission to fail and bounce back. It's like I have all the resources. Like it sounds so like a freedom within inside me. So that talks a lot about very spiritual part of you, Ekta. So just a question about how, having that high flying career in your life, you took a break to be a spiritual coach. So how did you take this leap of faith? What happened?
Sure. I would say back then when I was fighting depression, where I did a lot of work on myself. At that point of time, when I was spiritually aligning myself, there was a calling that came to me. I remember I was not enjoying my work. So what is that I want to do in life now? What is my purpose? What's the higher calling that I have? And while going through those questions, while going through that journey, I did explore and found my mojo in the field of astrology and definitely in the field of coaching, because I sat on the other side of the chair. So I decided, this is what I want to begin my journey with, or restart again. And I would say, took me good amount of time, good number of years to study these subjects, to excel in this field. And I would say learning never stops. So the journey is still continuing. And I'm sure when I hear from people the kind of, the way spiritual coaching is helping them, the coaching sessions are helping them, it makes me feel, wow, this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm meant to be.
Wow. You speak with a lot of hope. You create a lot of hope. And I'm sure, so I'm a little confused about, the difference between spiritual coaching and life coaching. I heard that they go hand in hand. What do you do uniquely?
Certain way you can say spiritual coaching and life coaching, they go hand in hand. If I have to say, spiritual coaching is all about aligning yourself with your purpose. So whenever people, they are stuck in their life about their career, about their relationship, or maybe they're not happy with the way things are, or they're battling depressions, or want to overcome addictions, or at the time, or sometimes, they have self-doubts, all of these life areas can be also addressed in spiritual coaching. So in my coaching conversation, what I do is I do a blend of Eastern philosophy, Vedic science, and astrology, all of it. So I would say through my coaching conversations, people are able to connect to their goals, connect to their higher purposes, and are able to find a path. So that's how the journey has been for many, many people who have connected with me so far.
Wow. It also gives a lot of clarity about, diving within and aligning yourself to that bigger picture of your life, maybe.
Absolutely.
And I also know that you run a group called Tavamitram for less fortunate people, and with the process that you use is a unique group coaching concept. Would you like to share more about that?
Well, sure. Tavamitram, the moment when I heard this word, it's something which is very, very close to my heart. So you and I, we both started this journey years ago to create, to spread the awareness of mental health. I remember back then when I was struggling with a lot of things in my life, when the environment wasn't conducive enough and there were limited resources in my country. I remember how difficult it was at that point of time for me. So when I was able to overcome, challenges through coaching, I felt, there is a lot of need around there. So there are so many people who can't afford coaching, who are less fortunate people. They may need this kind of, this kind of service, this kind of help. So the higher calling in me that I need to contribute, I need to give it back to the society at large and create a non-judgmental environment. So Tavamitram definitely is a non-profit, group coaching, a platform where all the less fortunate people who are experiencing a lot of issues in their life with respect to, mental health, and they can definitely reach out to Tavamitram, and they would be getting all of these group coaching services at absolutely no cost. So creating a non-judgmental environment with a lot of kindness and love around, that's the purpose. That's the higher purpose in my life. And that's how I connect Tavamitram to the bigger picture of my life.
Wow. And it really gives a lot of hopes for many people who are watching you today and feeling inspired by your story. So Ekta, as we are running short of time, as you have many other things to do, I'm just going to take another more minute to check with you that there are a lot of men and women who are watching this video, and you talked about body shaming, you talked about addiction, you talked about how do you can bounce back. It's okay to fail. Okay, so what is that one message that you feel that you would like to give it to everybody, so that we all can be having the same hope that you're sharing with me right now?
Throughout my journey, I would just conclude or give one message as the need of external validation. It rises only when the internal economy of self-care and self-acceptance is low.
Wow.
So don't wait for validation outside. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. You're very, very special. That's what I can tell to all the wonderful women and men who are listening to me.
Lovely. And Ekta, how can we reach you? Or I can reach you anytime, I know that. But how people can reach you watching you, any particular way they can connect to you?
Sure. If anyone wants to reach me, they can write to me at ekta@matrix.in. I would tell my spelling as EKKTEAATMATRRIX.in. ekta@matrix.in.
Okay. And thank you so much, Ekta, once again for being here, and on the occasion of World International Women's Day. I thank you, and thank you so much, and keep inspiring, keep giving hope to people locally, globally with your work. once again. Thank you.
Paras, before closing this call, I would like to say happy happy International Women's Day to all the lovely women out there, and also a lot of wishes to all the men who are taking care of all the lovely women in their life in their own capacity. Thank you so much.
Thank you there.
Yes.